Hi, this is the History of Israel podcast, an Each My Own Beat podcast. Over the coming weeks, months, and years, we'll be discussing the history of Israel. This is not a podcast to say which side is right, which side is wrong. It's not a podcast to talk about the war which is happening in Palestine. It's just simply the history of Israel.
Welcome back to episode 44 of the History of Israel podcast. History of the Bilad al Sham, the Muslim conquest. Following the consolidation of Islamic hegemony over Arabia and its nomadic Arab tribes in the Ridda Wars of 632 to 633, the Caliph, leader of the Muslim community, Abu Bakr from 632 to 634, turned the nascent Muslim state's goals towards the conquest of Syria. The conquest unfolded in three main phases. According to the historian Fred Donner, in the first phase, Abu Bakr dispatched four armies from Medina in late 633, led by the commanders Imr ibn al-Az, Yazid ibn Abi Sufyan, Surahbil ibn Hassana, all veterans of the Ridda Wars, and Abu Abdiyah ibn al-Jarrah, a leading companion of Muhammad. Abu Hada may not have been dispatched until 636. Each commander was assigned to a different zone, with Ambar entrusted over Palestine, Yazid to Balaka, which was central Transjordan, Surbahil to southern Transjordan, and Abu Abiyada to Gesendine stomping grounds of Golan Heights. The Muslim commanders were mainly engaged in small-scale skirmishes in the southern Syrian countryside with local garrisons. The goal of the Muslims at the start of the conquest was likely bringing the Arab-speaking nomadic, semi-nomadic, and settled tribesmen of the southern Syrian desert fringes under their control. The second phase began at the arrival of Khalid ibn al-Wahid as his troops to Syria in 634. Under Khalid's supreme command, the Muslim armies besieged and captured the southern Syrian urban centers of Bozrah, Damascus, Bezan, Pella, Gaza, and temporarily Homs, and Baalbek. Heraclius responded by deploying successive imperial armies against the Muslims. The Byzantines were decisively defeated in the resulting major battles of Ajdin in Palestine, Fal and Yarmouk in Transjordan, all occurring between 634 and 636. The Muslims' battlefield victory effectively ended organized resistance by the Byzantines. In the third phase, beginning around 637, the Muslim armies quickly occupied the northern Syrian countryside, while steadying and conquering individual towns throughout the region whose garrisons held out alone, following the breakdown of the imperial defense. Among the towns, a number of which held out until 637 or 638, when Aleppo and Kinzarin in the north, Hama and Homs and Baalbek, later of two possibly for the second time, Damascus possibly for the second time, Jerusalem. Within the next few years, the Mediterranean coastal towns of Beirut, Sidon, Tyre, Caesarea, Antioch, Tripoli, and Ascalon were captured by the Muslim forces.
This has been the History of Israel podcast. Check back every Wednesday for new episodes. We're available on Apple, iTunes, Google Podcasts, as well as Spotify. We also have each episode streaming on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. We're available on eatmyownbeat.com as well as the History of Israel podcast on Facebook.